Welcome back. After Freddie Gray's death, the U.S. Department of Justice investigation found Baltimore City Police committed widespread civil rights abuses. The BPD has now been under federal oversight.
WJZ investigator Mike Helgren takes a look at the progress of reform.
That was bound to come because what they did to Freddie Gray was uncalled for. That was uncalled for.
Thomas Gwynn, who lives in Sandtown, remembers being hurt and angry over Freddie Gray's death in police custody. He believes in the decades since, the way officers interact with the people they serve is getting better here.
I've been victimized by police before, you know. I've been victimized, pulled over just because, I'm a young black man. Freddie Gray changed that. They give us much respect now.
We're not the department we were in 2015. It shows that our men and women have changed the culture of the BPD to the point that we are now the guardians and not the warriors that go in and take an area by storm.
Taking a community by storm may be an understatement. A scathing Department of Justice report commissioned after Gray's death exposed the extent of the problems, putting in black and white what many in the neighborhood where Gray grew up had been saying for years. Baltimore police engaged in unconstitutional policing with a pattern and practice of retaliation, excessive force, and unconstitutional stops, searches, and arrests, particularly targeting black residents.
The Department of Justice has a responsibility to examine the evidence and, if necessary, to help them implement change.
Among the outrageous violations, according to the report, a woman stripped and cavity searched in public over a missing headlight. A man tased multiple times and frisked without cause, and people detained for simply wearing hoodies.
If it didn't happen at Freddie Gray, it would have happened to George Floyd. I think it was bound to happen at some point. The department was, we were moving further apart from the community.
It changed a lot, especially in this neighborhood. It changed the police department, it made it better.
There have been changes, but I want to see more change, and I think I'm in good company.
Could you see it happening all over again?
I don't think it can happen the way it happened in the Freddie Gray case, because there are too many checks and balances that have been implemented.
The judge overseeing police reform warned the department it was playing with fire because of severe understaffing, more than 500 officers down. Still, Commissioner Worley says federal oversight has turned a troubled department into a touchstone.
Never did I ever think the Baltimore Police Department would be the agency that other agencies around the country and the world are coming to see how to do things right.
Commissioner Worley is hopeful the judge will find the city fully compliant and remove Baltimore from federal oversight by the time his contract is up in 2028. Back to you.
All right, Mike, thank you. In the past week, a federal judge released BPD from monitoring of 2 sections of its consent decree.
This termination is the first since the decree was put in place 8 years ago. The court will no longer monitor the department's officer wellness programs or its transportation of people in custody. 3 other sections were deemed in full compliance back in December.
And the police department must sustain the progress for a year before the court considers terminating them from that agreement. That next scheduled meeting between Justice Department officials and Baltimore City Police is next month on May 22nd.